What is going on there, gamers and gamettes and everybody in between? I have no idea why your camera has decided it's going to go to the Shadow Realm, but that's neither here nor is it there, because we are here with yet another episode of the good old-fashioned Clout.WAV podcast. That's right, folks. We are riding the wave into 2021 as your host, Quizarin, remains poised to give you all the succulent content you've been waiting to sink your teeth into and your ears have been waiting to digest. But I'm not the headliner, not today. Oh no, not this time. I'm in the backseat. I'm in the background. I am literally just background ASMR noise to be complimentary to the legendary, the awe-inspiring, the man who's rocking an Adidas tracksuit top right now as he strokes his chin, as he's getting ready to grin, as he serenades you all with the knowledge and the blessings of good old-fashioned knowledge. Subtle Fraudulence, clap it up. How you doing, bud?
Hey, yeah, Subtle Fraudulence. Man, who is that guy? Crazy.
He's a living legend by some people's accounts. A god amongst men. But yeah, man, how you been, dude?
Oh, you know, the king of Night City, as some would say.
All right, hold on. You're going too far now. You're going too far now. You're getting too deep into the pockets. And if you want to be the king of Night City, I mean, that's great. But I mean, as buggy as that game has been, I mean, there are better cities out there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Let me tell you right now, I've figured it out. I've gotten to the end of that game story, and it all makes sense now. You see, the plot of the story explains the bugs. The bugs were actually intentional to give you an authentic experience of a person who basically has like a cyber cancer and is dying. So everything, all those glitches you're seeing, that's what happens when you have a construct in your brain that is trying to take over. So, yeah. See,
yeah, but what about the instances that affect only other people? Like, I get the feeling that, like, are all those people also suffering from the same cyber cancer?
No. That is only what your character perceives is going on.
Oh, so that man really did not get out of his car.
May not even be the actual reality.
Oh, okay. All right. He's spitting truth right now. Do I agree with him? Absolutely not. But he's saying them.
Hey, whoa.
This is a free speech zone, and I commend and applaud your ability to say it with a straight face and mean it. But speaking of saying things with a straight face, what if I told you that there was a Twitch escort service? And I don't mean that necessarily in the sense of you can order the cyber goo-wop for Twitch streamers. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, do you guys know of a website known as epal.gg? Now you may be saying, the fuck is epal? Is that like some ghetto PayPal? No.
Yeah, bro. Is that going to give me the goo op as you describe it? With you and these like disgusting terms for body parts and sexual things? Like, you make it sound like it's going to be a hentai or something, man.
New subscription received.
Hey, we appreciate the subscription. The gratitude has been dispensed. One in the clip, one in the chamber. But yo, let me pull it up so you guys can see it on the big screen. Now, you may be saying, all right, what is this League of Legends? Like, what is on the screen right now? Like, I'm actually I'm not even sure what you're even trying to decipher or trying to bring to my attention right now. Don't worry, dear viewer. I am more than happy to help. So that being said, since we are all in the mood to talk about these things and whatnot, we have to be honest with ourselves. And let me move the chat down here so it's underneath you so you can, there you go, see his handsome face. But basically,
purpose.
So, anyways, what this seems to be is a social media website in which you can click on a streamer and pay them to be your friend, or pay them $5.50 per game to play with them. It's basically Fiverr for collaborations, I suppose. Like, no one wants to play video games with me. Oh God, Cyberpunk, don't do it. Don't say this is how Cyberpunk begins.
2078, sir. 2078 right here. That's right. You don't even have to go outside to meet real friends.
That's
all
why
you
I said
gotta do is pay some money.
It's a Twitch
money and
escort service. Just, hey man, I need somebody for my content. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have at least have the look that I have the pull out here in these streets. And this website is more than half
escort service. There are no dates having here. You're just playing games. Playing games with some buddies online.
Pause. Just because you have an escort doesn't mean that there's any transgressions of a sexual variety or even a romantic one. Sometimes you just have an escort so you can have people in your entourage so you look better. So you look the part that you're trying to play in the streets. So relax, my brother. Relax.
Didn't
even mean it like that, my guy.
It's a romantic situation.
It could be more often. It could be more often than not, but hey, that's not always the case. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyways, I'm loving this.
Our fans the wrong idea here.
But no, I'm loving that Overwatch 2 part of the background. Like now it's Valorant, but it was Overwatch 2 before, and it was like, it's kind of interesting how Overwatch 2 is not out yet. It's never coming out. It's a myth.
Overwatch 2 will never be here. Yeah, that's right.
And these are just facts of life.
But anyways, actually just be an extension for Overwatch 1. Hey guys, we've added PvE to Overwatch 1 and new costumes.
Woo! Get your loot boxes today. But no, in all seriousness, no, for real. EPAL GG, its mission statement, like if you look right at the top, it just says, EPAL is a worldwide social platform for gamers. Meet players from all over the world on EPAL to chat and play games together. That does not roll off the tongue at all. It's basically saying the same thing twice. But hey, they just want to make sure that you got it if you didn't get it the first time. Then at the bottom, you see more fun. Why play solo when you could team up with an EPAL of your choice? Game coaching is provided by veteran EPALs. Basically, Fiverr, but more gaming centric here. But make new friends as you have to so you never have to battle alone. Because, solo queue can be a bitch in a lot of these games. So anyways, you can go ahead, pop in here. And actually, let's bring the screen back up one more time for the one time, for the two time, for the one time. Let's see what we're really digging in here if we look into this website. So you can see little Tony out here, you know what I'm saying? You could be like, hey, man, he's got a sale going on. You ain't got to pay the full $5. You got to pay $3.50 a game. Now, you may be saying, all right.
That's crazy.
Right? And then you be like, all right, well, who is this young Tony? He speaks Spanish and English, and you may be saying, all right, well, he seems to have a pretty open schedule, anything from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Diamond level player, all right. And now
he's also got the word coaching on his picture. So, if you need tips on how to be very great at League of Legends, then, go ahead and hit up Tony there.
Now, you see he's got a lot of comments, so I guess it's like a meme thing. I'm assuming this is somebody who's got a YouTube or something. So this is probably something that a lot of his viewers are going to be using. So I'm sure this will be great for those of you who, have, a YouTube following or a Twitch following, but you'll be able to be like, hey, you guys want to play games? Now you can have an active service in which you now have a new avenue to monetize your channel. No longer like the days of Twitch chat asking, hey, can I play a game with you, Mr. or Mrs. Streamer? Those days are over. They're cooked. They're behind you. They're on the back burner because now, ladies and gentlemen, you could charge them. You have a whole entire market space for this now, in which you can just have the link, down underneath the Twitch stream below or in your YouTube video description, yada, yada, et cetera, et cetera. And, you can obviously, do whatever it is with setting your prices wherever you want to set them. And let's go back.
It's just like Cameo.
Yeah, it's like Cameo, but you're playing video games. So, like I said, you can have coaches. You can have someone who just plays the game. Where are the search tabs?
All right, let's be real here, though. Like, are you really going out of your way to pay for someone that you don't know, you're not sure of, to coach you in League of Legends instead of, I don't know, reading like a Reddit thread made from someone who has broken down the game and all the builds, or I don't know, just go on one of those many websites that they make that give you all the builds that you need, so that all you got to do is know how to press the thing on the keyboard to make the character do the thing that you want to do?
No, pause. I'm going to search by score, and we're just going to look at the top 3. So,
okay.
All right. I guess you are by price unit actually. Oh, we can't go from high to low. That saddens me. Wait, hold on. Price.
That's an unoptimal
$20 plus.
already.
20. All right, no one's $20 plus. All right, so we got people who are over $10, but they're on sale right now. One is an actual cat, so now I'm curious. Yet my curiosity has been piqued. So, hello, I can be the Owo to your Uwu. I have accounts in all ELO, so if you're looking for a cute JG duo, I guess that means jungle, duo, such an Uwu person, had a great time, fun and laughs, and an easy game. $10 a game. $10 a game.
Hey, yo.
Hey, that fun dude to play with, definitely worth it. And then everyone else just generic 5 stars, even though some of them were the same person doing 5 stars. Sweet voice, fast response. Like, hey, you know, it is what it is, I guess.
Real quick, man. Real quick. A lot of these games that are being advertised are games that throw you into lobbies with rando people anyways. Like, is that not enough for someone who's really just like, I want a friend?
No, it's not. Not these days.
I'm sorry. You don't get to confirm that they're an attractive friend.
You don't even get to confirm if they're going to be a nice person. See, when you pay, you're paying up front. Therefore, they might have a higher, they might hold themselves to a higher standard of accountability as they play with you, as opposed to a random person free, in a looking for match or looking for team group on Discord.
For free, you could literally just...
I mean, you spitting facts right now, but these are not these...
Put on your mic and start saying stuff, and then you'll figure out who is the nice person and who's not. If you got someone who's calling you the N-word through the mic, okay, yeah, maybe not a nice person.
But why even like, hey, risk it when you can come on over to epal.gg? All right, so, we got the cat. That's $10 a game. This person was originally at $14 a game, but now they're at a modest $8.40 per game. Gold level player, Jenny is awesome. I don't understand what's with the weird censors of the titles, or maybe these are their usernames and you censor the usernames, which that's a whole can of worms that I'm not even really trying to get into here. Super nice, funny, friendly, purpose. Anonymous. And then, people just giving 5 stars reviews, which, all right, great. They have a 9 a.m. to 3 a.m. They have quite the open schedule. They sleep for 6 hours, or they do something for 6 hours. Hey, I guess it is. I guess what it is. Serve 68 people. So, like, if this rate has been, like, even if we take the discounted rate, like, they have made over $400 just per game. And just because they served 68 does not mean that these 68 people only played one game. So this is clearly a hustle that is going to be very lucrative for various people on the internet. Like, I have not heard of this. How long has this site been up? Is this like something brand new or something? Or wait, hold on. Voice chat. Are these people who are like voice chatting Wait, I don't. Wait, these people just in a voice chat?
I think, yeah.
All right, it's whatever you want it to be, ladies and gentlemen. It can even be your new ASMR OnlyFans at this point. But that being said, this was a new hustle. I did not know this was an avenue. Thank you for showing to me, Mr. Fraudulence. You said one of your friends is on here. That's how you came to acquire the knowledge that this was even a market space that existed.
Someone who I know is on the website offering their ePal profile. So, yeah, people do it.
Like I said, just when I think I've seen it all, in reality, I've truly seen fucking nothing. All right, we should be back. Hello. Hello? 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 Oh, great. Discord really about to do it to us, huh?
Huh?
Okay, there you are. All right, we back.
Oh.
All right, you got that. You got to pop that webcam back on, my dude.
Oh, yeah, I turned it off when you restarted your computer because, don't want you to see me watching all my porn.
Whoa! All right. Let's see here.
That joke is gonna get upgraded to like, I didn't want to see you see me over here being a conservative. Something stupid like that.
This, you know what? You, as much as I want to say that's silly, I know better. Mm-hmm. I know better. I knew better all along. Why are you looking at my task manager? What the fuck? Let me guess. There we go. Also, why is it trying to pull me into this? Like, hello? Like, what are we doing right now? All right. So anyways, back to the subject matter at hand.
You back online?
Yes. We were back as soon as you turned your webcam on.
Oh.
Yeah, man, you was lost already. Yeah, you were lost in the sauce right there.
I didn't realize that we were back on Twitch here. Hey guys, well,
hey, well now now you know. But anyways, let's get back into the next. So, for those of you on YouTube who don't have to deal with the technical difficulties, yeah, everything just kind of hit the shit, and then OBS crashed, and then I blue screened right after that. So hey, we're back. Anyways, rolling. Yeah. Oh, I got hit with the 1 and the 2. I got opened up. I was like, all right, I'll just reboot OBS, and then my computer was like, I'm sorry, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Get bodied. Anywho. Speaking of getting bodied, I don't know if any of you have heard about a convention that I worked at a couple of years ago known as MAGFest, the music and gaming festival way up in the DC area. Y'all know. Y'all don't need me to talk about it too much. But for those of you who don't know what's going on out there, there has seemed to be a little bit of, dare I say, some foul play. Well, I wanted to stay away from the big C word. That's too many syllables for the average person on the YouTube. Here. All right. Well,
this is not YouTube.
All right. Fine then. You guys want controversy? We'll give you the controversy. So I don't know how many of you know this, but the thing about MAGFest that was kind of its way of differentiating itself from many of the other cons was that it was a nonprofit for the people, by the people. Many of the people who you saw going there were volunteers. They weren't getting paid. All they got was a room and some space to do whatever arts and crafts thing in the music and gaming realm that just made themselves feel alive. Just made them like they were doing it all 100% out of passion. Whether it was us running tournaments, whether it was many of the arcade venturers out there going out of their way to not only get the arcade cabinets, whether they were domestic or imported, but then going through all the logistics to store these things, make sure they work, make sure the boards are optimized, make sure that everything is working at full 100% efficiency, and then hauling all of that shit to fill that gigantic arcade hall, or whether it's musicians hauling all of their musical equipment, speakers and all, in order to bring the people who are going to be coming to MAGFest that year a fulfilling and meaningful experience that is going to be shared for gamers, by gamers, for musicians, artists, etc., all coming together for that culture. Now, you may be saying, all right, so I've been seeing it trending on Twitter, so what's the hubbub? What's the hullabaloo? So here we go. I don't know how many of you know this, but as you know, when you give anybody a bunch of power and they start to abuse it, things get really fucky. And now you're seeing various people are very upset at the top brass, whether it be Paul Bertel and many of his supporters on the MAGFest board. Now, that being said, you may be saying, all right, so what did they really do? So it seems like there's some people in there who are paranoid as shit, don't know what the fuck's going on, don't know how to run a business, and are basically using some people's paranoia and inexperience and the fact that some of these people who are on the lower echelon of the business ladder, who are just volunteers, as basically footstools to just abuse them, tell them what to do, not treat them fairly, and just basically dick slap them in the face and be like, you're going to deal with it because you don't have a choice. Unless you're going to somehow magically find another con that's going to give you this similar amount of creative freedom. Oh, you can't? All right, then you're just going to deal, and they're going to play hardball. And apparently they're out here forcing people to sign these NDAs, these non-disclosure agreements, where they have to shut up and sign these gag orders and bite their tongue so they can't speak on the issues that are plaguing the con and are bothering them in their heart of hearts. And they're doing this in exchange for the ability to even come to the con in subsequent years. Because apparently, if you're not down with shutting the fuck up, they just gonna flat out ban you. And as you guys can see, if I can pull it up real quick, that there are actually a couple of nice documents that are provided by the website that are basically going to show you, hey, wait a minute, I know who that person is. And it shows you what they got fired for, or what the claims were, the email that fired them, and various other documentation of the sort. So let me go ahead and get this back up on the screen. No, that's not what I wanted. There we go. So as you guys can see here, it's even sorted by name, and that is way too big. I don't know why it's that big. Appreciate you. Yes, that was huge, dude.
That's what.
If you say that's what she said, I'm bopping you.
Blank.
I'm just gonna bop you into next week, my guy.
Nah, man, you can't bop me. I'm on the internet.
Chat, he's right. As much as I hate it, he's right. He outplayed me. I lost the neutral. GG. But anyways, if you want to, let's say, let's just hop in here. Updates and firings. Let's just look at the email. So Josiah was apparently removed because this email is a formal notification of your removal as division head of staff services and as department head of stops because of the active safe case and prior noted violation of code of conduct. We are suspending you as a volunteer pending the ruling to be determined by the safe subcommittee. You will receive an additional email that will lay out your ability to attend all MAGFest events and the potential time length of your volunteer ban once the pending SAFE case concludes. If the SAFE subcommittee comes back with no recommended actions, you will be reinstated as a volunteer staffer, though not as a division head or stops direct head or department head. And as long as you have no other further violations that occur between now and then, if SAFE does not recommend a ban, we hope to welcome you back once that concludes. Let us know if you have any questions. From the aforementioned Paul Bertel. All right. So you may be saying, all right, well, what does that really all mean? What does that truthfully actually shake down to? Well, let's read a little bit into this, shall we? I mean, Josiah has actually decided to actually publish what their response was. And oh, Lord, what the fuck is that?
Huh?
What the hell is that?
Rent a bag. Whoa.
What the hell was that? You click on one thing and now like people, what the fuck was that?
Hey, that's one of the reasons. See, they have proof.
They have proof. They have
sexual
proof.
misconduct.
Hey, look, if you can spread the goo wop and get banned for 3 days, then you already know what it is.
Wow.
I like how I pressed back on the page and it was like, hey, bro, somebody's trying to share porn with you. And I was like, excuse me? What the fuck? Hey, yeah. No, let me stop. Anyways.
It seems that requires a thorough investigation. So, I'm
sure Nintendo's got their best people on it.
Oh,
all right. Hey, Nintendo, you heard about what's going on with Nintendo because they've been having an investigation of their own. But that's all right. Let me actually pull up the Google Drive again, and let me go. Oh, wait, what? Somebody, okay, so somebody apparently trolled me and has shared, because in the shared with, somebody apparently shared some hot nonsense with me.
So you're the culprit.
Apparently somebody's sending me porn out here. Like, what the? You know how often I sign into my Google Drive? Not never. Who is sending me stuff in my Google Drive? You know what?
Hey man,
you know what? Nah,
I just
bro.
wanted you to see this video. Can you like give me a critique?
Nah, bro. I'm going over here, bro. Because ain't nothing shared with me now.
Hey,
ain't shit over here, bro.
Please.
Ain't nothing here,
just tell me if I'm doing a good job.
I'm just trying to figure out how that even happened. And no, if first of all, if you sending me porn,
do you like my wife? Please.
Do I like your wife?
Do you like her? Would you like to come over? I will pay you. What is your ePal page?
Yo, big not like this, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, you see TZM? You mean TMZ? Is that what you meant? I'm assuming that's what you meant. That's what you meant, bro. That's what you meant. All right. Anyways, Josiah actually made a statement. So, hey guys, since the situation we originally brought to our attention in November has degraded, yes, I'm fired, I wanted to write this doc up so you know explicitly who's at fault and what I've been dealing with. Jack Boyd, president of the board, feels that I have threatened him with physical harm to such a degree that he, quote unquote, fears for his own life. I have been informed that his anxiety and fear have reached such a level that he isn't even sleeping at his own house and has filed a police report against me. I was informed of this on November 5th and have been trapped in this hellish cycle of gaslighting and abuse since then, where any attempt I make to resolve or to call out is met with silent indifference and in some cases outright anger. So let's keep going here before we make any judgments here. This is a 6-pager. We won't be reading the whole thing, but we'll read this opening salvo here. So this situation is as messed up and as shocking to me as I'm sure it is to you, and I have no way ever threatened anyone, and I find the insinuation that I might do so absurd. I haven't spoken to Jack in months, and will note that his accusation only came to light when it became apparent that he wasn't going to be able to prevent me from joining the board otherwise. Despite my request, no specific instances of this alleged behavior have been provided. I believe that my records show that I do have of my interactions with Jack as, well, exonerating, along with my reputation as being a decent human being. It's because they do apparently showcase different things below, which is conversations, documentations, and interaction with the aforementioned group. And apparently he's done nothing but be a model citizen and a quote unquote homie and, model employee for these people. But anyway, moving past that, to be clear, I regularly butted heads with Jack. We disagreed on the freedom and the flow of information and how to utilize the NDA and the importance of the ED position versus the rest of the office. In discussions, I have been snippy, but I have never said anything that could even be remotely construed as threatening. However, I'm told that my tone, in combination with some verbal incident from last year, was enough for him to feel that I intended to cause him physical harm. Not once did Jack approach me with this concern himself or send someone else to raise, this suspicion or to actually be like a middleman and sort of, hash these things out. And not once did the board attempt to temper this situation or intervene before banning me, as apparently the only option that Jack could agree with. So I know that, various people in MAGFest had a bit of a trouble with how the budget was being spent, because apparently now there's people who are wondering where telethon money is going, and people are questioning where money that they said would be allocated for them to do their thing the next year is going, because apparently they have money at one point, then they get told, yeah, we'll be able to do this, that, and the other thing, and then when it's time to actually put up and shut up, all of a sudden out of nowhere the funds dry up and no one knows where exactly to go and talk about it. And it's very, very interesting to see how, you never really know what's going on behind the fucking scenes. You never know. You never know what really goes on behind the scenes until you have to stroke your chin and go, wait a minute. So let's look at Shears removal. So this email notification of your minimum of 3-year ban from MAGFest due to a code of conduct violation. We recognize your many contributions to MAGFest over the years and would like to provide a way for you to return earlier to the community once you contributed towards growing. Anyways, MAGFest wants to genuinely show that individuals that experience consequences are not permanently removed from the organization, and I want to give you as great as possible leniency while we're still enforcing the consequences. Which is funny, because how do you have a minimum of 3-year ban? That's kind of severe, right? Like that's basically 1,000 days. You're banned for 1,000 days due to a code of conduct violation. That's got to be a pretty severe violation. But now you want to be very lenient. I'm not sure how that works, but we'll go on. And I want to give the greatest possible leniency while still enforcing consequences. I'd like to offer you an opportunity to sign a document, a separation and release claims acknowledgement, which would allow you to re-register as a volunteer 2 years from the date signed, and allow you to attend events immediately as an actual con goer. I will be sending that document through HelloSign following this. If not signed within the next 2 days, you will be banned from staffing indefinitely for a minimum of 3 years, pending an executive director deciding you are permitted to re-register as staff. So I'm assuming this is the gag order they were talking about. Like, oh, yeah, well, we're going to get rid of you, but you can sign this thing and you could be back immediately. But to get back to where you were, it's going to take 2 years as opposed to the aforementioned 3, which is definitely kind of fucked up. And by kind, I mean most definitely fucked up. And this is from Paul as well. And if you go back, I believe Shiv also had a response for their own transgressions. If we scroll through here, and Shiv's statement. Here we go. So Shiv just said, I'm heartbroken to see that. Actually, no, let me make this bigger so you guys can see it. There you go. I'm heartbroken to see MAGFest fall to abusers like this. I'm heartbroken to end 2020 with the bad guys winning. I'm heartbroken to be forced out of an event that I've devoted myself to for so many years, and I'm heartbroken that I'm not the only one. This morning, I got an email from Paul Bertle saying that he was banning me from staffing for 2 years for a code of conduct violation. There's no documentation of what the violation is, stops the group responsible for managing staffers was not informed or consulted, which I don't know how you can go past the people who are supposed to enforce these things and just say, fuck you. But hey, I guess when you're a director, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Anyways, much worse than the process violations, though, Paul's attempts to silence me from his email. This is where he talks about the gag order, yada, yada, yada. I'm truly speechless over this. I have seen many, many mismanaged events, but I have never seen an executive director, a full-time paid, supposed professional nonetheless, resort to this kind of bold-faced threats and silencing. There's no clearer message that Paul Bertle could possibly send to show the kind of leader that he is. I know we're all exhausted, but I pray for those of you who remain at MAGFest have the energy to stand up for what's right, to stand up for what MAGFest can be, used to be. Paul Bertle's not MAGFest, Eli's not the usual stuff, Jack and Joel, yada, yada, yada. We are more MAGFest than they could ever hope to be. Let's show them. And they're willing to have people contact them. They're willing to have people reach out, which clearly means they're talking. I don't know who they talking to, but they talking. So this information is getting out. I'm sure you'll probably see interviews coming out about this over the past, next couple of days to a couple of weeks. And I'm sure the pot will continue to stir. But, these are all the things that people are just talking about today. There's a 1229 update, which shows people giving public statements and the Save MAGFest email, which is a template, which if you guys want to participate in, getting some of these people who are abusers in the top brass up out of there, you can copy this email and then send it to the exact same place. It's just a template. You put your name here, yada, yada, yada. You could change things up here if you want. Yeah, what's up?
This brings up a very interesting conversation. So I remember that one of the statements put out about this whole thing was that hey, if you're still going to MAGFest, or if you still try to support MAGFest, you're supporting an abuser. So this topic was brought up somewhat recently about Evo and how if Mr. Wizard, they see him as the face of Evo, blah blah blah. Of course, they got Mr. Wizard out of there, and Evo will happen again, probably once all of this, COVID stuff has been situated and we can all go out to events safely. But what do you think of the people who are just like, nope, I'm not going to that event ever again because they allowed that abuser to be a part of it. So now, if you support the event ever,
if that's the case, none of these people. If that's the case, none of these people should ever watch another Disney movie ever again. They should never watch a show on Nickelodeon ever again. Because if you're going to talk about
Disney.
Because if you're going to talk about, just having someone who wasn't a good person in the company, whether they're low at the bottom of at the totem pole or the tippity top, one of the owners or something, if the company or the organization does everything by the book to get them out of there and to handle the situation accordingly, whether it's to either get them some sort of rehabilitation if they're like someone who's crazy and gone over way past their prime in terms of their mental state and they're senile or something like that, or whether it's just getting them all the way the fuck up out of here so that they can begin the rebuilding process. If they do something like that, then I don't as long as they're holding the right people accountable, then I believe that at that point you can still support the organization because the organization did what it took to support the people. Now, if it's one of those issues where the organization knew about everything that was happening and went out of their way to hide it repeatedly, and then once it became too much, then they wanted to then quote unquote have a face turn and then handle punishment just for PR purposes, then all right, at that point you can then make the discretion of, hey, you know what, I don't fuck with this event, yada yada. Or worse, they know what's going on, the truth comes out, and they still continue to rock with the person. Okay, then at that point, then yes, you can shoot two birds at the event and move on with your day. Absolutely. I 100% can say that I can support the decision to no longer give that event any of your time. I get that. But in, the situation of Evo, they got him the fuck up out of there. They packed his bags. They sung so long, farewell, yada, 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 and he's not there anymore. Now, that's not to say, we don't know how much that they all knew, because we definitely seen that there were top players out there who knew, and there were some people out there who knew and were vocal about it, just weren't listened to. So that'll be an interesting, thing to break down of how much was known by, Evo staff. But at the same time, we have seen other corporations and companies have these situations where there's a huge blemish that someone has become upon whatever their brand is or their mission statement, and they do what's right, get them out of there. And at that point, you should just be like, hey, you know what? This was an ugly time. We got over it. Let's move forward, whether it be, a corporate entity or, a nonprofit organization, your sports team, whatever, so on and so forth. That's just how I feel about it. But if you're someone who just says the moment, the frame you found out in life that there was someone who was not on the level or not a good person, that you just gonna 100% say fuck them as an entire entity, then you should never buy a car because car salesmen are the devil. You should there's so many avenues out there that like voice acting, you see how they get paid peanuts, even if it's just for a high profile role in a high profile movie. If it's voice acting, they get paid like dog shit. You should never watch an animated television show ever again. But once again, that's neither here nor there. I don't think people are ready for that part of the conversation, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, what do you think?
Do you think that MAGFest? Well, I agree. If I agree with everything you said there. If if the company did not know and they weren't trying to actively cover it up, and they're just trying to put someone new in that position and move forward, then there's no reason to sit there and hold a grudge against them, as if somehow, some way, they're never going to be able to come back from it. Because then, that basically says that you admit that you don't believe redemption is ever going to be a thing. You don't believe that people can be redeemed for anything. You don't believe corporate events can do better about situations like that. And then you're probably one of those people who's on Twitter right now saying that Smash Bros Ultimate breeds a certain type of person, and that the pro player scene is only filled with certain type of people.
Yeah,
And
I have seen some hot takes over the past couple of days where they called every Smash player, not just a couple, every Smash player, even the ones who are underage,
Right.
they are either going to be they're either pedophiles now, or they're going to grow up to be pedophiles. Like, as soon as they hit 18, they're going to be like, I'm a Smash player. And their brain just slowly regresses to knowing from what right and wrong was to just out here looking at kitty smut or some shit. And I'm like, hello, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, you like if you have those thoughts, you gotta like one actually go out to events, like go to your locals, please go to your locals and see what happens at the locals, and then like formulate your opinion because it sounds like you're misinformed. Two, like then what's the point?
I just want to clarify because
No.
he had that thing where two thoughts went together. Because what he said was, if you're thinking like that, and he said, go to your locals. No, if you're thinking like that, don't go to your locals.
No.
I know what you meant. I know what you meant. I know what you meant, but because where we transition from, it seemed like if you're thinking about touching somebody, go to your local. No, that's not what he meant. What he meant was if you think the scene is nothing but terrible people, then go to your locals and you will change your mind. That's what he meant. I just want to make sure because I know the YouTube comment section. I know I hear you. I hear you in the future typing away.
Who, if you really just turn 18 and go, you know what I'm trying to get into? Now stay at home. Call your local police officer, or call a therapist and be like, you know what, I've been having these thoughts and I've really got to get over this because that's an episode of Law and Order SVU that did not end well for the person who believed those things. And anyways,
you don't want to be part of the Special Victims Unit.
You don't want to be a part of that. You don't want to be tailed by them. You don't want any of those. You don't want the hands from Detective Stabler. All right, like you don't want
not Stabler.
You don't even want Ice-T to show up and give you a one-liner. Like you don't want any of it.
But speaking of one-liners, I don't know if you guys have seen that there is a movie that came out over Christmas Day. And ladies and gentlemen, it came out in theaters and HBO Max, and it's got a lot of hips and some pretty bright whips. But no, it's not a BDSM special. It is Gal Gadot reprising her role, coming back yet again as Wonder Woman. And look, I saw the movie. I don't want to necessarily jump into spoilers, but we're going to jump into spoilers. I'm going to put a timestamp on the top right-hand corner of the video on where you can resume.
Damn. All right.
Well, I'm giving them ample time to understand. I'm like, don't worry. I'm going to have it in the description, so it'll be segmented, so you can just go to the description and hit, click the next topic. Don't worry. That is the future of video editing. That being said, all right, so what did you think of the movie, first and foremost, before we jump into the nitty and the gritty?
Oh man, I think the movie would have done better if it was released in theaters as intended, because being at home and like having like the chance to just be like, man, where is this going, and then like get up and like walk away or do something else or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this movie is not good for watching at home. By yourself or maybe with your family or whatever, because it's very like the pacing is very weird. The editing for the movie is also very weird because of the way that like certain events are structured. Like there's literally there are literally like scenes in the movie that look like they're supposed to show something important or be a part of like an important part of the story, and they show off maybe like one little piece. It's like literally, hey, this whole scene of this event here was all to show off this one armor that you already saw in the trailer and you already know it's going to be in the movie. So yeah, also Gal Gadot is like she is a beautiful, beautiful woman. But boy, do they want you to remember that when you watch these movies, because she is the most like glamorous thing that you ever see on the screen, and it's like kind of awkward because of like certain stunts that she does and whatnot. Like there's a scene that's in the trailers, so this is not a spoiler, where like she's like busting a robbery in a mall, and the stunts that she's doing in this mall, like her sliding on the ground and shit like that, like it all looks really, really like awkward for her to do. Also, she's still like Wonder Woman, and we know from previous movies that she is just like a woman who's been living amongst the humans and like living her life as a rich woman, and that like somehow no one recognizes her, even though it's like, hey, that's a woman at the mall. All
right,
none of that.
So there's one thing that I thought was kind of funny, because when I was watching it with Cottis, he wouldn't let it go. So there's a part in the movie when she's breaking up that robbery at the beginning, and she noticed that the security cameras can clearly see her. So she breaks the cameras. He's like, that's not how. He's like, that's not how cameras work, because they definitely are on the security feed, and if the cameras would go black, so like they clearly know who you are. And then she told she
didn't do it as soon as she showed up. She like was standing. She was there for a while.
No, that's what I mean. Like, she was halfway through busting up the robbery. Then she looked up there, and then it was funny because clearly there was a bunch of people in that mall who saw her, but she only told the two girls to shh, keep it quiet. And it's like, damn well these people was gonna talk.
What was with the one child who was like way too into everything that was going on? Oh my God, mommy, look, mom. And then she just like ran away and like just got in the middle of this robbery. And I was like, wait, what? Like, first off, the parent definitely knew that her child was like this over hyperactive. And she acknowledged that even like on screen, and then just proceeded to do nothing. And then her child like got up and like walked into this situation that's happening in this mall, and she's just kind of like, oh, she wasn't even like, oh my God. It was just kind of like, oh my God. Yeah. And then Wonder Woman shows up and saves her, luckily. But like, what the like, that was another scene that just it didn't need to be there. Maybe it was supposed to be funny, but it was odd. And it didn't really like pay off. Like the mom wasn't like, Wonder Woman, thank you so much, or like the girl wasn't like, I want to be like you when I grow up, or anything like that. It was literally just like, oh my gosh, wow. Anyways, back to playing. No, like what? Wonder Woman, like, okay, so now that we're in spoilers, I have to address that. My first point about Wonder Woman like looking like glamorous in the movie all the time, like they in the first movie they also did this. They make her look like very, very angelic to like show that she's like superpowers and that she's the hero that's there to save everyone and whatnot. But the movie also dives into a plot line where she's losing her powers, and so she's supposed to get hurt, but you can't tell if that's just like her getting hurt because that's like her limitations, or if that's because she's losing her powers, until another character, Steve, just flat out says, oh my God, you're losing your powers because of your wish. Oh,
okay. We got to back it up.
I got to back up and talk about the wish.
You got to back up.
So you go ahead and go through there.
Okay, so as y'all know, there is a character known as Max Lord, and whether you realize, in other incarnations, whether he's developed psychic powers or whether he's just outsmarting people by not doing anything illegal, but doing everything illegal. Trust me, it makes sense when you know the character. He's one of those, I outsmarted you in a way where I technically can't go to jail. That's the type of movie we're dealing with here. So you may be saying, all right, so what's the deal? Mm-hmm. So, as you all know, Barbara Minerva in this movie, she is playing a archaeologist, an anthropologist, so to speak, to be more specific, in which she is studying various ruins, artifacts, and lore of the world. And there's this stone known as the Dream Stone that she just has. We're going to call it basically the Reality Stone from fucking Marvel, just so you understand that it can do whatever the fuck it wants as long as somebody says the word, I wish. If someone says the phrase that they wish for something, at that juncture, the Dream Stone will grant whatever the fuck the wish is. Even if it's got to create shit, even if it means creating matter of a new natural resource that wasn't there ever before, but is now there in a plentiful amount just because of a wish. That's how magic works. Now, at this point, your boy Max, Mr. Lord, has a son. And his son is, well, he's accustomed to a specific lifestyle of, relatively refined living. But what he doesn't know is that his dad is a con man. A con man who, well, for lack of a better word, fucking sucks at his job. He's trash. And he knows he's trash. But the only thing he wants is for his son to be proud of him, and for everyone who has ever doubted him in life to eat crow and be humbled at the fact that Lord is successful.
Okay, pause real quick.
All right.
I want to address that, because that goes in with one of the things that I was gonna get into anyways about her like wish. Big thing in the movie was that everybody who makes a wish
Hold on. We have to get there.
Okay. But real quick about his motivations, the movie was really bad about that part, because it like vaguely showed that he was like a con man, even though he was on TV and stuff. And it wasn't until like the very end of the movie that they show flashbacks of his life. And that's why I'm saying like the structuring or like the editing of the movie is like weird, because those scenes,
us relating to him was never earned.
Yeah,
because at the beginning of the movie, all right, hold on, let's just get to it. So basically, Mr. Lord, Maxwell Lord, knows about the stone, but somehow all the multi-millionaire archaeologists and anthropologists and forensic scientists apparently have no idea what the fuck the stone is. But apparently Maxwell Lord has been studying this stone for a very long time, because there's a scene where they go into his office and they find pictures, they find a whole bunch of documentation, they find books about like what the stone is and how it's done, but they never really go into detail about how he knows about this at any point in time in the movie. So it's like, all right, whatever, he knows about the MacGuffin, whatever. So he then meets Barbara, aka the lady who will soon become Cheetah. And at the beginning of the movie, Cheetah, when she had the Dreamstone, because obviously she works with the people who own the stone at the museum, therefore it makes sense that she would be in close contact with it. But she just so happened to be near it when she said the phrase, "I wish I could be more like my friend Diana." She may not have known that. Okay.
I have a quick question, or maybe comment about things that didn't pay off. Also, the robbers in the mall scene showed up to this jewelry store and they're like, "We know that you guys are doing these like backdoor business dealings or whatnot, so just show us what you got and let us take that and we'll be out of your way." And then they go back and they're like all these artifacts there and stuff. Am I like, so did the Dreamstone come from that, or was that completely not related to anything? And am I remembering correctly that those two events had nothing to do with each other, even though they should have?
Okay, so from what I am understanding, when Wonder Woman showed up, you talking about at the mall, right? Where where the dudes were smuggling the artifacts, and then they were just gonna pass them and then leave.
Right.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure that was an unrelated burglary attempt. That was just to establish that they have a bunch of artifacts here. I think that's all that was. So Wonder Woman could go in, do her thing, yada, 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 and show why she would be close to Barbara, because, these are hot items. But like I said, I will do a subsequent viewing just for you to nail that out. But when it comes to the meat of the plot, Mr. Lord is like, damn, that Barbara has the Dreamstone, but she doesn't know what it is. But I know what it is, and I need to have it. So, he puts on the philanthropist playboy charm, starts hitting her up, starts talking about, damn, girl, you gorgeous. Yeah, girl, you looking kind of thick, yada, yada. You know how to woo.
He also lucked out there.
Yeah, because
he lucked out there because she she was like a very like, for whatever reason, even though like Kristen Wiig is still hot, she was like invisible to people for whatever reason, and that's why she wished to be like Diana, because Diana was glamorous. And also one of the best parts of the movie is the montage of these like thirsty ass dudes who are just coming up to Wonder Woman, and then later Minerva being like, "Hey, I just wanted to talk to you," and she's like, "No, I'm not interested." And so Minerva like made her wish before Max Lord had even met her, but he requested her because he wanted the artifact. It just so happened that after she made the wish, she was like attainable to people, and then he was like, "Oh shit, she's hot.
This is really working out." So at that point, he's whatever, trying to knock boots, gets in there, and like as he's about to plow her in the next week, he's like, but what is this? As he points to the Dreamstone. And she says, well, I don't know. It's just a stone. Who cares? I got so many other valuable things in here. Let's fuck. And then he was like, you know what? I'm going to do both. So as he's about to lay pipe, he grabs the Dreamstone and puts it behind his back. And I'm like, so you going to hold that the whole time? Like, I'm just trying to figure, like, because it's not going to fit in your pocket. So that was just weird. But anyway, he gets the stone. He gets his rocks off. And then he makes off with the rock. Gets back to his office. Sits down. And he says, I wish to become the Dreamstone. Now, what this means is he is now the stone. But it seems like the stone has an insatiable magic power to where like a stone can't really be injured, but it can crack. And now that it's inside of a person, his organs, his arteries, his body, it's like shutting down on him. It's like rejecting like his body is failing. But the only way for him to recover is to get people to make wishes en masse. But it also seems like you only get one wish per person. So eventually, at some point, if everyone on the planet did make a wish, his power would be strong for a while, but then it would diminish to a point to where no one else can make wishes. So that's a whole other thing that we would have to talk about on it's clearly not a longevity plan here, but we'll get to that.
But he also made a wish and his wish got granted, but he didn't lose anything for granting getting the wish granted.
No, he did.
His organs?
No, he did. He was losing his ability to live. That is something. Because everyone didn't lose the same. Everybody definitely didn't lose the same.
That seemed like a product of him becoming the wish stone and not a product of his wish.
Yes, but here's the thing. Here's the thing that you might have missed. So when he became the Dreamstone, he also gets to set the monkey paw effect. He gets to set it. So if you want to say that it was just the magic overwhelming his body and rejecting it, that still falls in line with the fact that he wouldn't give himself a punishment because he is the stone. Because throughout the movie, remember when Cheetah didn't give anything up either, he was like, I'm feeling generous. He gets to determine it because he's the stone now.
I get that. I mean, that kind of makes sense. But you would think that the process of him becoming the stone, he would have to lose something because the stone is still the stone up until that wish is fulfilled.
Yeah, but then you would you get into the weird, like it would cancel each other out thing. And I'm just trying to explain the movie. All right, I'm not harping on this.
Bro, I thought his son was gonna die. Okay, like that was the payoff that I was supposed to get from this whole thing to give him like character and whatnot.
Technically, that was going to happen, but we'll get there.
That was going to happen, but that was like a prediction of, you'll see the truth. It was like that was a consequence of your actions, not a consequence of your wish.
But we'll get there.
Okay.
So at this point, he needs to get other people to make wishes, and he goes through a manipulating spree of getting people to make random wishes. But here's the problem that I had with how this goes. So apparently, when you wish for something that requires more manpower, people can just teleport, but people will definitely remember that they teleported because there's even a scene where he's talking to the president and he's like, I was definitely not here. I was definitely in a place that was not here. What are we even talking about? And I was like, I know the U.S. government can be inept at times, but this shit is ridiculous. This man's bleeding out his eyes and his face, putting his hands all over the president. And it's like, are we not gonna? All right, whatever. It is what it is at this point. But pushing past that, when Diana, Wonder Woman, was in close proximity of the Dreamstone, she decided to say that she wished that she could have her old man Trevor back, and that's how he ends up getting resurrected. But does that technically make Wonder Woman a rapist?
Well, wait, pause. Gotta explain that.
Because, okay, I'm about to explain it. I just want to I think it's just a thought that occurs.
I get that, but because real quick. This doesn't make sense because she wished for Trevor to be back and like he possessed someone, like his spirits just possessed someone's body, and that was never explained. That was just a thing that happened because of the stone.
Yeah, so Trevor got resurrected, but not as in like his own body and his own soul. His soul just apparently merged with literally some random dude, some rando out there. And now Trevor is just in some other dude living his life. So when Diana finds him and they start, shacking up, it's still the other guy's body, but to her, it looks like Trevor. But apparently to everyone else, it looks like somebody. It looked like dude.
Right.
It looked like man's. Stranger danger.
And kind of blurred the lines there with like the whole thing of like, because technically you're seeing things through her perspective and whatnot, and they just wanted to keep Chris Pine in the movie and didn't just write that Chris Pine comes back to life in his body. She was like, yeah, it's okay. I only see you when I'm looking at this person. And I was just like, okay, so does that mean that he is now just himself and that's legit what everyone sees? Or is it that she's just being like, like, oh, I know it's you, Trevor. I can feel it or whatever whenever this guy is around and he literally just looks like himself, because they don't really clear that up. And you as the viewer of the movie, you see Chris Pine, Trevor. So, yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure everyone else just saw dude. I'm pretty sure that's how everyone just saw the other dude, and she's the only one that saw him. But anyway, doesn't matter. She's out here sleeping with the man. So there's a dude out there who has apparently had sexual relations with Wonder Woman a couple of times, and we'll never know. He'll never know. He'll never understand.
Hey man, at the end of the movie, he saw her in real life, and then
yeah, but he didn't know
the outfit.
She didn't tell him. She didn't tell him.
No, but he felt that spark. But he decided he was not going to be one of the thirsty dudes, even though he was the only dude in the entire movie who had a chance with Wonder Woman. He was not going to be a thirsty dude. He was just like, oh man, isn't this beautiful? I love Christmas. And then he just went on his fucking way. It was like, well, have a nice holiday.
But anyways, let's speed run through the rest of this, because this movie is not worth a 40-minute discussion. So at this point, so they keep it pushing. They get to a point to where Maxwell Lord is like, look, all right, I need everyone to make wishes. So he's like going up to people and like, don't you wish that I had a meeting with the president? And they were like, he would ask his publicist that. And of course, a publicist would be like, it'd be great if the person I'm a publicist for has a meeting with the president. That just makes sense. That's good business for me. So they were like, yes, of course. Mm-hmm. So then the president just gets warped to the White House and schedules a meeting with him, just because, that's what a wish was for. So he's doing this, and just for some reason, apparently they were having a debriefing about secret military constellation hijacker program software number 5 during this time, to where Maxwell Lord's like, what is this? And he goes, oh, it's a satellite program that allows you to hijack all frequencies, whether it be radio or television, and the particles, due to how radiation works, will physically be touching everyone on the planet at the same time. And he said,
this is where the movie made no fucking sense. It's like, oh yeah, technically I'll be touching people, right? And it's like, no, you would not. You would be projecting something onto their screens through like waves, but you would not be actually physically touching any of these fucking people. They would see it or hear it, and that's it. And so he was just like, yeah, this works.
Yeah. So then before that, he asked the president, so what do you want? What do you wish for? And he says, well, the people in Singapore and all these other places, but the Russians, they have more nukes than we do. And if I just had more nukes, they'd have to listen to us. He says, your wish has been granted. And then he says, but in return, I will be taking all of your power, and all the people who are a part of the U.S. government will treat me like I have diplomatic immunity, and I'm a sovereign nation. And we're like, that's not how that works. And apparently it is. So then he hooks himself up to the satellite and says, make wishes, everyone. And everyone just starts making wishes. And then there's like this weird bar scene where like there's this lunch lady who's like, I hope all you fat Irish people get what you got and go back to your place. And then like the ICE agents show up to start deporting a bunch of Irish people. I'm like, how did we?
Because her husband was like, I hope you drop dead. He's like, wait, what? Oh shit.
Yeah, he was like, I hope you drop dead. And then she had a heart attack and then fell on the floor. And I was like, all right, that's a thing that's happening in this film. Not to mention, like, all these other people are, making mundane wishes. Like, one dude wished for a farm, and then like a bunch of cows and farm animal and livestock just started spawning at like in the middle of the street. Max Lord on the way to the White House touched his cab driver, was like, "Don't you wish traffic would just part like the Red Sea?" He was like, "Of course, I wish that. Never gonna happen though." So like now every time the car would go forward and there was a car within that bubble, they just got jettisoned to the side, whether it killed people or not. So that was weird. So like basically everyone's making wishes, even some of the wishes that are contradictory to each other. So like things are getting warped and all types of things are getting fucked up. Russia sees all these nuclear silos that just have gone active in the United States. So they think, oh, they must be trying to hit us with with that huge payload that they just developed. How'd they get all those missiles? You do not activate 42 new missile silos unless you planning to use them. So then they turn theirs on.
Fast forward real quick. So, of course, everyone makes their wishes, and then Wonder Woman figures out that the stone is using the power of a god that's basically Loki, like a trickster god. And, she was like, oh, so everyone has to renounce their wishes in order for things to go back to the way they were before. This is basically just a MacGuffin to be like, hey, Wonder Woman's losing her powers. And Minerva, for some reason, has Wonder Woman's powers. And we're just going to kind of like shoehorn in a little thing here that turns her into an actual cheetah. But anyways, yeah, Wonder Woman's losing her powers. The only way she can get her powers back is if she lets Steve die or whatever. And so then she was like, oh, I have to renounce my wish, and then everything will go back to normal. And she's, of course, in denial of like, no, but I love Steve. I'll never do it. And then Minerva's also like, no, everyone loves me. I'll never.
I have a question.
She becomes the bodyguard.
No, pause. I have a question. I have a question. I have a huge question. So this whole time, when she said you have to give up whatever your wish is, I didn't think that it was going to be like you had to reset. I thought like Trevor was going to do something to kill himself. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Or she
was going to have to kill Trevor or something, to have that emotional dilemma.
Trevor had the best idea out of all of it. He's like, but if we kill Max, then everything goes back to normal. And that, that's easier. And Wonder Woman was just like, no, I would never do that. And I'm like, but why though?
Because virtues, hello? Like, come on now.
This dude is literally causing pandemonium in like society on the earth, and they're reading all these ancient texts that are saying he is going to destroy the world. He's going to destroy civilization as a whole, because they shoehorned in this random Mayan dude who was just like, my parents gave me this ancient text that says here, and then Wonder Woman reads it and it's just like, oh my god. And so
society after society has been wiped off the map because of this thing.
Yeah, Trevor's like, well, since he is the stone, we're going to have to kill him because we're going to have to destroy the stone. So, why don't we just do that? And I'm like, that's the most sense anyone's made in this movie so far. And then she's like, no, I can't do that. Everyone just has to renounce their wishes. I'm like, how the fuck do you think that any of that is going to happen when he's getting the whole world to make wishes? There are selfish and shitty people out there.
No, I do have a question.
Will not do it. So
I do have a question. Trevor never made a wish, right?
Right.
Okay. He did make one. I'm going to tell you what it was. And it was so stupid because I was like, was that just a wording thing? Or does that not count because it was sarcasm? Because there's a part where he handcuffs himself to Max Lord to keep him in place. And then Max Lord asks him, what do you wish for? He says, besides not being locked up to you, well, And then like 2 minutes later, they're not locked up anymore. And I was like, does that count as Trevor's wish?
Nah. That's a technicality. And yeah, see, technicalities work here because the dude was like, technically I'm touching everybody, so that works. And it's like, no, you're not.
If radio waves count, handcuffs count. That's all I'm saying.
The best part in the entire movie, Wonder Woman finally like comes to terms because Trevor is like, yo, you're a superhero. Like, you gotta, like, look, we had a good life. And I'm supposed to be dead. And also, please stop like denying yourself all these other dudes just because I'm dead. It's okay for you to date other people. I love you, Diana. Well, I'll see you. Peace. And then he like literally ducks behind a corner, and she's like, I renounce my wish. And I guess he like gets dusted or something, or the regular guy is just like, what am I doing here? And then like walks away or something. They don't show us anything. Trevor just like goes behind a corner, behind a pillar, and you never see him again. And Wonder Woman starts running in the middle of the street while she's crying, and she's got a big gash, and you see it healing and stuff to show she's got her superpowers back, because I guess Wonder Woman has healing powers and whatnot. she takes the lasso, but like while she's running, the effects for this scene look fucking disgusting. I don't know if it's because Gal Gadot is like super tall or just because of like the way they filmed it, but like it looks really, really gross and looks really like cartoony. And then she takes the lasso and she lassos like clouds
and lightning.
And lightning. I mean, lightning. I think she did that in the first movie. Or
yeah, but I mean, like this is this is the thing that like she could do. I'm just saying she can lasso literally objects in the skybox. But then she was like, then she learned how to fly.
I can just like fly. She's like, if I just spin the lasso, I can propel myself like Thor's hammer, and now I'm flying. And I'm like, okay, what? I do like that the movie did introduce the invisible jet by saying that Wonder Woman used her magic powers to make the jet invisible. But
and not that it's like find it? Not that it's a jet that's just invisible.
Yeah, so that was cute, but then Wonder Woman, for whatever reason, figures out that she needs the armor, which, sure, the armor did nothing. It did nothing special at all. It had no secret powers or anything. The armor did nothing. Meanwhile, Minerva makes a wish to Max Lord. Max Lord is like, hey.
Pause. I have to talk about this one very specifically because this is one of those moments where the character should have stopped talking. So pretty much at the beginning of the movie, Minerva made a wish with the stone saying that she wished she could be more like Diana, but she didn't know that the stone was going to do anything at the time.
Right.
It just was like, by chance. So then she starts getting like, the Amazonian, like Glamazon fucking powers, what I'm saying? Like she's super strong, super fast, has all this agility. And this comes up once before because at the beginning of the movie, her and Diana are like having like, a drink time out, a nice social outing. And, they're chilling.
Is this about the rapist?
Yes.
Okay.
So they're talking, whatever. She goes home. She's kind of buzzed, and this dude's like, "Hey there, pretty. Let me holler at you real quick." And she's like, "No, I'm good." And he's like, "No, let me help you." And he just grabs her, like yokes her up. He's like, "Hey, we're talking." So then Diana comes in there, just like Sparta kicks him through a bench. So then like I was like, all right, that was weird.
Her explanation for that was bad. She was like, "Oh no, it's a defense technique. I'll teach it to you tomorrow." And I was like, "No, what?"
Yeah, I was like, okay. And then she just walks away, and it's like, you're not going to question why your friend was just following you like that? I mean, good thing she was.
Minerva knew what was going on. She looked at the scene, and you look at her face, and she's like, she's lying to me. Hold on.
So then she, she's leaving, what I'm saying? And, she wakes up next morning, she's got all her powers now. And then a couple of days later, rapist dude is walking by. He's like, "Hey there, baby." And she's like, and then she's like, "Nah, can't be." He's like, "Come on, let me holler at you real quick." And then she turns around. She says, "Do you remember me?" He's like, "Oh, I remember you." And nobody talks like this. But he goes, "Let's pick up where we left off." He tries to choke her again.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, what the? He was doing it in broad daylight.
Yeah, and then she just gave this man the hands, and rightfully so. Threw this what was it, a milk truck or something? Threw this man into a milk truck, halfway through a balcony, and like kicked this man in the ribs like 7 times.
I can't believe he didn't die.
And then homeless Frank, the homie, was like, "Dang, Barbara, what you doing? Mind your business."
Pause. You got to talk about homeless Frank is a man who literally he lives in the park, and Minerva always gives him like food or money or whatever because it's supposed to show that she's a very sweet person. And Diana did point out, she was just like, "Oh, what did you lose? You're not a sweet person anymore." I was just like, okay, that's not okay, whatever. But like this scene made no sense because she beat up a rapist in the middle of the streets, and then like Frank was just like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she was just like, "Don't worry about it," and like runs away. And
no, she said, "Mind your business," and then literally just like sprinted off into the night.
And like, if she had just told him that this is a guy that literally tried to sexually assault her the night before, and she beat him up, I'm pretty sure that dude would have like the homeless guy probably would have beat him up too. Be like, "Oh, this piece of shit, take him to jail." It's like that's. Seemed like the character that Frank is like someone who'd be like,
but like we said, she's not the same Minerva anymore. But anyways, Somehow Minerva gets a second wish, and some might argue that because she's a different personality now, this personality is a different person, therefore she can get a different wish.
I thought it was because she used the stone, and then the stone became what's his face. So if you,
that's my second explanation.
That's
it. That's my second explanation, because Maxwell Lord offered Diana another wish, I believe, when there was at the stalemate.
Right, yes.
But anyways, that's what we're getting ahead of ourselves. So then they get on the plane, and by the way, before this, Barbara just gave Diana the hands because Diana was losing her powers because they fought before your boy Trevor got wished away. But she's like, I'm loving these powers. And Max is like, well, I am feeling generous. You can't get that second wish now. And then she was like, I want to be number one. I don't want to be like Diana. I want to be better than Diana. I was like, okay, understandable. Super
apex predator.
No. That's what I was like. You talk too much.
Predator.
That's what I said. You talk. She said, I want to be number one. I was like, okay.
That's subjective.
Yeah, and then she said, I want to be better than Diana, and I said, also subjective, but okay. You can rock with that. I want to be something that's never been seen before. All right, now you're in ambiguous territory, but we could work with that. I want to be an apex predator. You said too many words. You said too many words. I know that's probably in your anthropology background to say words like that, but that was not the time. So then she just became actual CGI Cheetah, which didn't really seem to bother her. She didn't really seem to care about her look. She just wanted to give Diana the hands because, she didn't want to lose her power. And then it turns out if Diana wanted to fight Cheetah, Cheetah can do absolutely nothing.
It was so weird
because when Diana got the super armor, it seemed like the wings weren't there to help her fly or do anything. They were just there to stop me from beating Cheetah up faster.
Cheetah fucked up the armor bad.
Well, yeah, she was scratching but it looked like she was using the wings to be on the defensives to be like, Barbara, I don't want to give you the hands because if these wings these wings are not protecting me from you, they're protecting you from me. Because once these wings are gone, I have to hit you. And sure enough, as soon as the wings were gone, and then she was so you're so weak.
Yeah.
I'm just going to grapple out of here and go handle the actual problem. And then Cheetah was like, no. And Cheetah wanted the salty run back, jumped on her, and then just got the hands again, jumped on her again, got the hands again, got electroshock therapy, got tossed aside, and then she went to go fight the real dude. Cheetah got cheated like a jobber. Yeah. Cheetah got treated like a jobber. She was not real at all.
The final battle scene was doo-doo because first off, for whatever reason, when Maxwell got enough wishes, he just started creating a supernova around a tornado around him, and this was not explained very well at all. But he was just in the middle of a pillar of light, and there's a tornado around him and something. He's like, yes, wish more. And it was wait, what? And so Diana couldn't get to him. And so then she used the lasso to connect to him, to connect
to the people.
To the people of Earth, to speak to them. Even though she could have just hopped in front of the camera and done the same damn thing. And she told everyone to renounce their wish because she was like, I want you to feel what I feel and feel my loss and feel what's going on. That's when we see Maxwell Lord's backstory. And I was like, why is this here?
Yeah, because then it shows that Maxwell Lord was bullied. He was a chump. He was poor. Apparently his father beat the shit out of him and his mom repeatedly, and it formed him to be a terrible human being who was spiteful and hated everybody, and the only person he cared about was his son. And then it got to a point to where it was this would have been nice to know early on in the movie, so we could have a frame of reference.
No talk about the son's mom, by the way.
No, I think they mentioned her having a new man. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. She's off-screen character.
Yeah.
And it was going to shit, and she didn't even show up to pick up her son. Oh shit, we gotta protect you.
And they try to show that Maxwell cares for his son, but the two scenes in which his son was really in, I got no inclination of that because the first time you see him, he's like, "Go and stay in there with Emerson." It's all right, okay. Then the second scene is he's trying to coax a wish out of his son, But he's like, I wish for your success. He's like, no, why would you wish for that? Oh, I can't be mad at you. But it was like,
that also didn't make sense because the son made that wish and was like, what does that do for him?
exactly.
Like, I don't know if it did anything or if it was supposed to be like foreshadowing or something, but the son was like, I wish for your success, Dad. And I'm like, okay, but he's not going to be successful.
Well, technically, his plan worked. Technically, his plan worked.
I mean,
don't forget to
no, because he renounced his wish and then he just ran after his son as a human one. He didn't have to renounce his wish. He just had to like stop. Okay.
Here's the issue. Here's the issue I have with that. He renounced his wish, right? And correct me if I'm wrong. When you renounce your wish, it reverts whatever fallout happened. Now, it's not the fallout of the wish, but it reverts the things that happened. And by reverts, I mean like if you turn something into a cat, it would no longer be a cat. It would be back to its original state.
Right.
So if like let's say I had a gun, and I wished for the gun, and I shot up, and I shot my boy Subtle Fraudulence right now. If I rescinded my wish, the gun would disappear and the bullet would disappear, but he would still be shot.
Right.
So there would be no weapon.
The streets being like still like dirty.
Yes.
When Diana left.
Yes. But the Russians shot nukes that they didn't wish for. And the US shot nukes that they wished for and didn't wish for. So when he said, I rescind my wish, how did the nukes disappear? I don't get that. That one confuses me.
Yep. It really all could have been solved by someone else just wishing that everything was reverted back to the way it was or something like that. Another wish would have fixed everything, but like getting the human population to renounce their wishes made no sense. And then Maxwell Lord, he renounced his wish, so he wasn't the stone anymore, but you didn't see a stone. So it was just like all this magic energy is just gone, and there are still people renouncing their wishes. So I don't understand. And then Cheetah just magically turned back, even though she never like officially renounced her wish because she was unconscious. But sure.
Which once again doesn't make that much sense. But here's the thing: if she rescinded her wish, does that mean she rescinded the first wish or the second wish? Does she still have Diana powers, or is it all the wishes? Or is it one of those things that all the wishes that Maxwell Lord would have granted anyway also get destroyed, which would not make sense because why would you need all the people on the planet to then rescind their wishes if that's all it took? You see, like it do not make.
There were two solutions offered, which was destroy Maxwell Lord or Dreamstone, or get everyone else to rescind their wishes. And then both things happened technically, and it just didn't make sense. Like Maxwell Lord renounced his wish, so he wasn't the stone anymore. So like I thought that technicality would make it so that all the other wishes that he granted like didn't happen anymore. And the movie kind of gave it that way, but it also showed people renouncing their wishes. So I was like, why? Like, what? Like, which one is the real solution here? And why does any of this matter?
Okay, well, you may be asking, why does any of this matter? So they had this really dope cameo at the end, which had the original Wonder Woman portraying, you know, the ancient one who fought all of mankind. But she's apparently still living in the modern day. And then you got to start thinking to yourself, so you decided you wasn't gonna. I mean, I know it's not technically your business to spring into action on this one, but
was this an after credit scene?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see it, but
okay, on the after credit scene, it had the original Wonder Woman. Who you know the woman who fought all of mankind in the gold. Yeah, in the gold armor.
Talking about gold armor. Yeah.
That lady is actually portrayed by the original Wonder Woman from the original Wonder Woman movies.
Oh, Linda Blair.
In the end credit scene.
Okay,
but she's living amongst us in modern times, and she's just because like a telephone pole was about to crush some people, and she caught it, and she said, "Nah, I've been doing this for a long time," and then she just keeps walking away, and it's like, so you ain't when all this magic shit was happening, you ain't think that. I mean,
that's got to be like a non-canon joke.
yeah, that's what I thought it was like. It's a non-canon nod, but like, because if it was real, I'd be like, isn't that kind of?
Because the like lady that was wearing the armor was just an Amazonian. Also, Wonder Woman has superpowers. The first movie has like told us that Wonder Woman has superpowers. She's used it once, technically twice for like the invisible thing, but like the superpower, the ching ching, like she did that once.
I mean, she spammed it 42 times in the Justice League movie.
Yeah,
to the point to where I thought that was the only attack she had. King,
she did it once, and like it was like a weird, like unnecessary thing that she did against like human U.S. military dudes.
But it seems like she. But here's the thing: I couldn't tell because she was losing her powers, or if there's just levels to it. Because there's part where it's like it did it, but it was definitely not what she shot at Steppenwolf. I'll tell you that.
Right. Exactly.
Also, I like how when she tried to do it to human form Cheetah, and Cheetah just did this mean pirouette right on through it. Like, yeah, that don't work here. When they were in the White House, because she definitely tried to do it, and she was like, it was like she teched the grab. Yeah, nice try. But yeah, the movie was something. It was a movie that happened, and I'm sure you're gonna hear a bunch of people whining, moaning, and complaining about it for the next several months to maybe a couple years, and it's not that deep. I didn't like it, and I moved on.
It was just disappointing for all the hype that was around it and releasing it on Christmas. But if it were released in movies, it would have got better scores because, like, I think the general populace would accept this movie as like a decent movie. I just think that
it's a decent popcorn flick.
Like, paying attention,
it's a decent popcorn flick. I'll give it that.
Paying attention to it is not. It was just like a waste of time.
It's better than Jurassic World. But the funny thing is, even after all this, you still can't. Maxwell Lord does not do any jail time because it's like, what? Technically, you can't charge him with anything because y'all are the ones that committed the crimes.
Mm-hmm. So, Wonder Woman didn't really fight anything in the movie. Like, there's the robbery scene. There's fighting Cheetah when she didn't have powers.
Then there was fighting Cheetah with powers, where it took like all about like what 4 or 5 minutes to wrap that up.
Yeah, and fighting guards in the armor, which the armor did nothing special. So like, it was just fighting guards in armor, which was like, okay, this is Wonder Woman versus a bunch of humans. So there's no like, she was never really at risk, even when she didn't have her powers, because she still had some powers.
Fighting jobbers.
It was really weird.
But it was legit fighting jobbers, the movie.
That's why it was like really odd, because Wonder Woman was seen as like the superhero, the super heroine of the movie, and everyone else was a jobber. And like Wonder Woman was super majestic and whatnot. And then they tried to make Cheetah look that way, and they didn't do as much with it. And then Cheetah started like running in the street, and it was just like, okay, this is cartoony. And then Wonder Woman did the same thing, and it was like cartoonier than that. And then Cheetah like got her like animal powers, and that was And like also the movie was trying to like hint that she was going to do that by like giving her like cheetah print jackets and like highlights and all that shit. But when she actually became the cheetah, it was just really odd and awkward. Like it was like a weird cosplay.
It was like the Cats movie, but with a bigger budget. But yeah, that's Wonder Woman for you. But if you ever thought about even tweeting about Wonder Woman, you might want to refrain, because you could be DMCA'd on Twitter now. I don't know how many of y'all knew that, but that is apparently a thing where, let's say, you make a tweet and there's some music playing in the background. These music groups can actually come after you. And you may be saying, but it's a tweet. Trust me, when you got billionaires and millionaires who are in the music industry who are desperate for money, because remember, no one's buying CDs anymore. No one's buying anything per song. No one's buying anything per album. You buy your streaming service and they make the money off top, and then you just download the things. They desperate. They are desperate. Desperati.
So,
because they're not making concert money because of COVID. So, like, they're not making their big cash cow either.
If these like, if like technology, social media, and like technological like feats were uh, more widely like understood, I don't think we would have this like DMCA problem as bad. Like, because most of these things are like literally like these execs at companies not knowing shit about like how Twitch and Twitter and all these platforms work, and then getting told, hey, you could make money if you flag these platforms for using your music without paying you, so that you can basically bully them into like paying you every time your licensed content is used.
Chat, I see one of you down there saying, but can you make money off of a tweet? They don't give a fuck if you make money or not. For example, you can make a YouTube channel today. I guarantee you wouldn't be stupid enough to upload an entire Disney movie. Sure, you're not making money off of it, but it's still infringing upon their copyright. It's just that usually they're very lax about enforcing this type of thing because they know there's not really much to gain. But when it comes to the music industry, they are playing literally no games. Especially now when you're going to have a lot of these theatrical releases coming out on HBO Max and Netflix and, things of that nature. I could hook up my capture card. Actually, I don't even have to hook up my capture card. I could just watch it on my computer through the streaming service and screen record it. Right. And I have high quality rips of these movies that I can now throw clips up on Twitter. Piracy has honestly never been easier. So, of course, the crackdown begins now.
But, like, back to what I was saying, these companies don't know these things, and then lobbyists are, like, telling them, hey, don't you want more money? This platform is, like, just using your stuff. You want them to use your stuff without paying you? Wow, crazy. And so they're like, yeah, take care of that. Do whatever. And that's why, this whole DMCA thing is so awfully. But like also you have to throw in the whole like fair use like clause of like, hey, if it's manipulated in some kind of way, then it's like, it's fair game. So like if you like, zoom in on a movie, or you like, bring up the pitch on vocals or something like that. I know that's why like people upload like full movies mirrored, because like that's technically like it's manipulated. So fair use is supposed to like cover that or whatever. But I've heard very conflicting things on fair use. I think I recall hearing last week a man known by the community as Ultra David basically said, as far as the DMCA stuff goes, fair use doesn't really exist. Fair use doesn't protect it. The fair use clause doesn't cover it, and so I'm like,
so the layman's of fair use is when you have something that usually makes it transformative. Like if you're using like a movie to showcase some sort of like, hey, we're here to talk about some sort of film class, or talk about like something about cinematography, or something to where you're using the work to either illustrate a point or make it used for something other than its original purpose. Unfortunately, 90% of the time when you hear someone using some musician's music, it's for the purpose of being music, so it's not transformative at all. So that's why the fair use would definitely fall on deaf ears, because it's like yeah, but like the main content is insert thing here that I'm doing on Twitch. And it's like, sure, but what are you using the music for? Oh, music? Yeah, not transformative, because you're still using it for that. Now, if you were using the music and you're going through it piece by piece, where because you wouldn't be playing the whole piece in and of itself, and you would be talking about like composition and framing and how this type of chord might be able to bring out this emotion upon someone who's listening to it, and you're like seminaring it or something like that, or something of that nature, then yeah, at that point perhaps fair use can be looked at. But unfortunately, a lot of these people who are musicians aren't in control of their own masters. And by that I mean like they don't have the full rights to every single thing about, you know, their master copies to their music, because
exactly,
there's plenty of producers.
The companies that are actually filing the DMCAs own
Yep.
it, and they're like, hey, we want to get paid every time you use our music that we own.
Yep. Because here's the thing. If Steven Spielberg or George Lucas or Disney wants to use a song in one of their movies, they have to pay. And you know, a lot of these billionaires do not like, why the fuck does my $1 billion production team have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on fucking music when this piece of shit on Twitch can have T.I.'s Trap Back Jumpin' playing for fucking free? They're not having that. They're not. And don't start using people like Taylor Swift, you know, someone who, you know, whose career has ascended to the heavens at this fucking point, or catch you using, you know, like, you know, a hallmark of the hip hop industry like Jay-Z or some shit like that, because they will come fast.
All right, let me cover this real quick.
Hard. Go on.
Taylor Swift has not ascended. Taylor Swift is kind of going through a bit of a rough patch here, because Taylor Swift is now re-recording all of her old music that was owned by that was sold to Scooter Braun, because she can't gain ownership of it. So she's recording like new versions of these like old songs so that she has versions that she owns. But the problem is they're not going to be the original songs. And of course, diehard fans are going to be like, this is not the same as the original.
Mm-hmm.
So one of her most famous songs, Love Story, she recorded a new version of it. And since she's friends with Ryan Reynolds, he used it for his Match.com commercial, the one where Satan matches up with 2020. And, you know, shortly after the full version of the song got released, and like people have been saying, like, this is not as good as the original. But problem is, you're stuck with that, because the original is not
owned by her.
That she owns, so she can't promote it, because she can't like do anything about it.
Yeah, because T-Pain can get hit by copyright strikes on his own shit on his own Twitch channel. That's why he's, you know, normally making new music when he's on Twitch.
Right.
He's and using some of his forgotten B-side flips that, you know, weren't, you know, either released or, you know, are part of music collections that he does in fact own under his own name. Because the music industry is pretty fucking shitty.
But see, like, so as far as this goes, what's going to stop like video game companies from, you know, putting out something to be like, hey, cease and desist, you can't stream our game?
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I don't know if you noticed, there was a couple of developers who made statements on Twitter saying that exact thing. That's what they would want. That they want that people to pay a license. But here's the thing: the reason why they won't do that is because there's been such an accepted stigma that that's not how things work in gaming, that the company who does that is basically committing suicide, and they know it. Unless it's someone big enough, like, you know, like a Call of Duty, to where, you know, they can get away with some ludicrous shit. And if they then start to be able to begin to normalize it for their series, other people may follow suit. But like a regular, like, you know, new IP can't do it. And a lot of other publishers are going to stand against it anyway, because, you know, when they stand against it, they look good to gamers, and therefore they will get more support. So I just think the pendulum is too far to one side for that to actually ever start in video games.
See, I was thinking about, like, you know, what if there was like some sort of like clause or something put out there that says, you know, since this song is licensed to be in this game and this person is streaming this game, it like shouldn't be flagged or whatever. But unfortunately, Twitch technically could get like a cease and desist from all companies for all games to be like,
here's
hey,
the thing.
Your platform can't, you know, like, no, we don't want you guys.
But here's the thing,
as weird any of our games.
As weird as that sounds, that music deal for that music to be in the game was between the music company and the game. They did not give the game company itself would have to negotiate a separate term for other people's rights to stream it in that contract they have between the game company and the musician and the people who own the rights to the song. But they don't do that because that's a hell of a lot of money.
The deal is that this song can be used with the game as long as it's being used with the game. And so technically the person is using the game stream.
No. Because technically, as I said, hold on, pause. By the letter of the law, technically what you said about game companies being able to force licenses for you to stream their game is something that they could do. So the way the law is written right now, that relationship does not happen.
It doesn't happen because
the music industry does not care about gamers. They care about getting their money.
Yeah, since it's not technically not even legal for the people to stream the games. It's just that the game companies don't care. There's no way to do that.
All right, you want to know how messed up the music industry relationship is? Have you know that Crazy Taxi got remade it for the PC, right? Like it got a remaster?
Right.
Yeah. That's not in there. That song's not even there. The Offspring is not even in it.
Mm-hmm.
Jet Set Radio lost 4 or 5 songs. Yeah, see someone in the chat mention Vice City. They had to change their soundtrack. Like they don't even games don't even have permanent licensing, even if you're remaking the same game. So there's no way we're gonna get that license.
So the Twitch bot problem is that there's a bot that's checking for these things, right? And when the Game Awards came out, so many people were freaking paranoid because they're like, oh, all of these ads for all these games that are coming out or being announced during the Game Awards have copyrighted music. Am I going to get claimed by Twitch for just restreaming the Game Awards, even though Twitch sent out an email that said you should go ahead and restream the Game Awards and watch it and blah, blah, blah. It's like...
All right, here's the thing about that.
Twitch.
Here's the thing about that. I don't know if you know this. I don't know. I can link you guys a couple of videos if you guys want to see it, if you guys are interested. But there is a couple of websites that music industries are using right now to where you can literally go find whatever song you want, click search, and it will pull up everyone who's used that song on Twitch in a database over the past 24 hours to a week. It's that easy. It's a couple of keystrokes for them to come find you.
Use that song in what context though? Like it's popped up in their videos and a bot has picked it up?
A bot has picked it up and then it will actually tell you where in the VOD to look for your song. And then you can
see that's my thing though. Mm-hmm. Twitch is promoting this event and then Twitch is also letting their bots mark these people who are
that's not a Twitch bot. That's not Twitch bot. That is something that the RIA and various other, music entities have constructed of their own.
Oh, so they have their own bots.
Yeah, they have their own stuff to look. They have their own stuff to look now.
And of course, Twitch is not going to fight that because, they don't think they care enough.
No. I don't know if you know this. Twitch actually loses a bunch of money for Amazon every year. They're just hoping, since they have such a large piece of the streaming market share for video games, that eventually, when it does become profitable, their sheer volume of content and the history that they have with the platform is just so insurmountable that all the other people who are trying to get in the same market space have to just get the fuck out of the way.
So do you think that Amazon will eventually create some sort of promotion deal with these companies where basically Twitch is given some sort of ad revenue for promoting these songs? So it's hey, oh shit, the new Logic album just dropped. Why don't you play some clips sponsored by Twitch? And then Twitch gives 20%, 30%, whatever to these companies.
I doubt that because it's much easier and cost effective for them to just tell streamers shut the fuck up and don't do that. Because I don't know if you know, did you know that in the actual Twitch rules, right now, in the actual rules, you're not allowed to stream games like DJ Hero or just Dance Dance Revolution and things of that nature. Yep. But you know what's funny? You know what's really fucked up about that? Watch this.
What?
If I go up here to Stream Manager, and I, for the sake of argument, want to edit my stream info for nefarious purposes,
Those games are listed.
and then I type in Control A, DJ Hero. Wow, all the DJ Hero games pop up, even though in your rules it's technically not legal for me to do that. Like, what the, like, hello? That doesn't even make any sense whatsoever, but that's what they do.
Hypothetically, let's say Ninja, XQC, AOC, Pokimane, and like other top well-known like streamers, like people who are known casually, decide that they want to have some sort of deal with some company to like promote some music or something like that, because that Amazon has those like those bounties where it's like here's like a TV show, play the trailer and like promote it or whatever.
Here's the thing, that is a deal that's directly between the streamer and the music company, so therefore they would be notified, therefore they would be clean.
Okay, let's say that the company wants to partner with Twitch to make.
Bro, is that the dude that was trying to hack me earlier in the chat right now?
What?
Oh no, that's you posting a long ass fucking link, bro. Anyways, go on.
Yeah, like let's say they want to set up some sort of deal, some sort of promotion deal. So it's like, hey, we want to get in with the Twitch crowd, the gaming crowd, to get music out there, because Twitch has like actual like musical artists who have Twitch channels now, or actual like companies like Complex and Rolling Loud and shit like that, who have Twitch channels where they're like promoting music right now. There's literally sections of Twitch that's dedicated to people like playing their music and shit. And of course, we all know T-Pain is on Twitch and stuff like that. So these companies, these old fogies, finally realize that Twitch is like the hot new thing to promote music, not to shut it down because music is being used. And then they want to like set up a deal with Twitch. Do you think that's actually going to happen? Do you think like that's possible?
Okay,
Twitch would
so
actually take those deals?
There are 3 different services that have created a new avenue to make money, in which they go and they talk to specific, artists, and they tell them, hey, do you want us to pay you to have your license, to have your music distributed in a new lane? So there are a couple of websites out there where you can literally go sign up, and I believe you do have to pay a membership fee up front. And what you do is you get a whole collection of like genuinely on the level, not that royalty free, like actual music artists that will allow their music to be played on a stream. So basically, by you buying the subscription service, you are paying to license the entire catalog of whatever is underneath their banner. Now, the issue is we don't know if this is going to get to a point to where it's going to be like, oh, this one artist I like is on this service, but this other artist is okay with me streaming for. So you might have to subscribe to 2 different ones to get your whole playlist together. So that is a thing that's happening. I think Facebook Gaming has one. I think that's what Randy actually just linked me. Because there's one called Pretzel.
Oh yeah, I've heard of Pretzel.
And, that's how they're doing it over there. So that's interesting. But go on. Or are you done?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it seems like in order for this to not be like the shit show that it is, and having people like paranoid of like, oh my god, Fly Me to the Moon is in this Bayonetta clip that I had while I was playing on stream or whatever, then Twitch would have to either charge people more so they can make enough money to like pay off these like companies that are trying to like be like, hey, don't use our music or whatever, or some sort of service would have to be established to where it's like, okay, we're going to give you guys a certain cut of our proceeds if you allow us to use your music in like streams and whatnot, so that everyone ultimately makes more money because there's more freedom. But I don't think that's going to happen, because there are too many people who don't understand like the culture of like streaming and how any of that works, or like what's the value behind like having a Twitch channel or using Twitch in their proceedings. So
Where's the thing? They don't see it
yeah.
like that.
Plus, also the record industry in general, like the music industry in general, would have to like become better, because all this shit about like owning your music and like people who like haven't gotten paid for certain things, people not getting paid like royalties for their like content being used on like certain platforms and shit like that. All of that would have to get rectified before any of this could be addressed, and we're probably never getting to that anytime soon. So yeah.
Well, that's because a lot of these record companies are predatory, and they're very well versed in knowing what they're doing. That's why they have all these lawyers and legal teams to handle all these various situations as they arise. But the reason why it's going to be very difficult is because if streamers start being able to get away with it, you're going to have various other entities. Like then they're going to have the whole fear of, where does it stop? Will movies just be able to do it too? Like,
well, movies would have to do the same thing. Like they would have to like pay for some kind of service, or do what they've been doing and just pay to use the music. Like
no. But here's what I'm saying. If it gets cheap enough to where the average person is going to be able to, pay, for these licenses and volume and
I don't mean the average person in all this, by the way. I mean like the platform as a whole is going to do this to protect the people who are using it.
Twitch ain't doing yeah, okay. Twitch will let you spread the goo-wop. Twitch will let you get mollywopped up top, down low, inside out. It don't matter. But I do think it's funny that like, some people like can get DMCA'd for streaming their own shit, which I think is hilarious. Like, how is it that like, you made the song, hell, in some cases you even produced the song, but obviously you have other contracts out there where some people may own the masters, and then you play the song on your stream, and next thing you know, you're getting a letter saying, hey, you knew what this was.
Sorry, this is owned by Atlantic Records, and so you cannot play your song up in the club, 50 Cent. Sorry. No, thank you.
Nah, bro.
But I was streaming it to promote Power. What you talking about? Nah, it's 50. We own that song, not you.
But the reason why the music industry is not going to budge on this is because Twitch has already shown that they know exactly how this works. I'll give you a perfect example. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to the NFL, a lot of these games can be streamed, but it's only Thursday night football. If you try to restream Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, or, one of the local news games, your ass will be fucking terminated, because their contract is with all the networks that are involved with producing Thursday Night Football specifically. I know it sounds weird. Try to stream Monday night. Do it. Put on Monday Night Football. Go for it. Go for it. Let's see how that works out for you.
Some people will get away with it.
Oh, no. Some people will get away with it. Absolutely. But there is a reason. If you're not getting
at least like 1K a stream, yeah, you're getting away with it.
But it'd be like that sometimes, though. But yeah, man.
That's how all those accounts will like pop up, and then they just start streaming porn. The only reason they get like fucking like caught and banned is because
there was a lot of traction on it.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like 50K viewers, and it's like, what is this? Oh shit! Porn on the home screen. Oh,
yeah. And people start clipping it a bunch and whatnot, and they're like, "Well, what's this? Right. What's this stream getting all these clips right now? Hold on, let me check. Oh my god, cheeks, and then you gotta go. You gotta get up out of there, dude. Anyways, that's an is what it is situation. But I think that's about it. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark now. Anything you want to close us out with?
Okay, so U.S. Representative Katie Hill is finally filing a lawsuit on her ex-boyfriend because of the nudes that he posted out there of her. Like, I don't know, she was like naked, she was doing stuff with a girl, she was smoking, taking some bong rips. Like, people were trying to like demonize her by showing these pictures of her being just like cool people. So it was really weird. and now she's suing her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend for distributing that on the internet because revenge porn rules are finally starting to like catch up, and so that's interesting because usually you don't get to see the human sides of your representatives in politics, and now is the year of us seeing all of that with like AOC on Twitch and like shit like that. So I don't know. That's just really interesting tidbit to now be reminded that your politicians are human, but some of them also are lizard people like Mitch McConnell. So
yeah, man. But my man said, y'all think y'all getting 2 stacks? Boy, y'all better relax.
Just because the president said 2K doesn't mean that you're getting the 2K. I don't believe in him, and he's not the president anymore. That's right. He
lost. But even with that said, I know a lot of people are. I know. All right, so I'm gonna just say this. This is my get the tinfoil hats out. Your boy Trump got up there and said, you know what? I'm out of the office anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and say I want this 2K. Not because I think it's going to pass. I'm gonna say I want it. So the last thing people will hear was that I was in favor of the 2K. But I knew damn well that Mitch McConnell and the GOP, we was gonna put a big kibosh on that. But when I'm out of office and Biden can't get it done, I'm gonna be making them tweets saying, hey, bruh, you could have had 2K if you got me for 4 more years. But no, y'all wanted Sleepy Joe. That's what I'm waiting for.
See, that's what I'm waiting for. That, though, is that like if he tries to make that argument, it's like, yo, you were president for 4 years. You gave us $1,200 once. Get the fuck out of here. like if you wanted to give us money, you would have gave us money, bro. And then we would have voted for you. Come on, man. What's up? Yo, Andrew, gang all day. What's good?
My man tried to bribe the nation and still lost. That's crazy.
Bro, this man said, I want you guys to have like 1K a month from us. If you elect me, I'm gonna make it happen. And people were like, what? Come on, man. I want
what's crazy? You know what's crazy? People bought his wall, but they wouldn't buy the money.
Right.
That's wild.
Like you caped for a man who was like, I'm gonna get another country to build a wall in our country or to fund a wall in our country that's gonna keep them out. But you won't cape for anybody who's like, yo, I'm trying to give you money. Like I'm trying to make bread for you. What's good? Like,
that is telling of his 4-year tenure. He had what I would like to call a rough go of it.
Yeah, do you know what Andrew Yang is doing right now though?
What's that?
Like,
talk to me.
He's got like a YouTube channel. I think he also has a Twitch channel where like he's like inviting all kinds of people, like politicians, Twitch streamers, like celebrities. He's inviting all kinds of people to show up, and he's like just talking to them about shit, man. He's like legit trying to like make real change in the world, regardless of the fact that he wasn't the nominee that was chosen. Like, come on, man. Bernie is caping for us to get the 2K, and then you got like Republicans who are trying to like fight Bernie. Like, yo, let that old man save us. Let him give me some money.
Look, man, I just hope that if they do give y'all the 2K, that y'all don't spend it on stupid shit.
No, that's what they want. That's like what's needed, technically, like to reinvigorate the economy. People would need to use the 2K. No,
I'm talking about people. I'm talking about people who are in a tough spot right now, and then use the 2K to not get themselves out the tough spot. Don't get me wrong. I know $2,000 ain't much.
It's gonna spend rent twice.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it ain't gonna do much. But there's some folks I know they just gonna like if I catch you buying, like if I know you're not in a place of employment right now, and if I like, yeah, man, I got rims. I gotta unfriend you, bro. If you
still do that, is that still the thing?
Yes. You ain't never been to Tennessee, bro. You ain't never been to Louisiana either.
I mean, like right now, you damn right. I've been to Tennessee once, and that was to go fucking rafting, and I almost drowned. So
now, if you're someone who already got a bunch of disposable income, then fuck it, do whatever you want. Like with me, I'm gonna get a couple of posters, but financially, I'm pretty good right now. I'm in a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some of our contemporaries. They know who they are.
Some people, they look.
Compla-
People will be themselves at the end of the day. If they get 2K and they decide they want to spend all of it, then, well, you didn't learn anything, and I hope you'll learn something one day.
You got 20 pairs of Jordans to do nothing in.
But what I will not accept is these dumbass memes of like someone being like, yeah, we got the 2K, and then my boyfriend came home and said that we're going to invest it in our, we're going to diversify our bond. And invest the 2K in our investment banking accounts and make more money in this American capitalist society. And it's like, you ain't say all that. Damn well.
You could just mute those people.
The people who would legitimately say that are the people who are most likely not getting the 2K because they don't need it.
Like I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna invest half of mine, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, but you're not gonna brag about it.
No.
So
no,
this is the first time I've heard you say anything about investments. See, there you go. That's how it is.
I'm surprised you did not. Have we not talked about that?
No.
Damn, that's crazy.
We've never talked about investments. I don't know what you invest in.
Oh, I know that you mean I know what I invest in, but I could have swore you heard me. I play with the stock market a little bit. Smidge.
Nah, I've never heard these words.
Oh, well, now you know. But guess what? I'm not gonna be one of those people that when I see someone who's a homie who's not doing that, I'm not gonna be like, hey, why you throwing the money away? I'll tell you where you should have put that money in the market. Those people are annoying as fuck.
So insider trading, right? That's when you get a tip from someone in the know-how who's like, hey, you should invest in this because it's gonna blow up. That's illegal, right? But
okay. If you have a tip, it's not illegal. It's illegal when you know something is like guaranteed and someone tells you to move all the assets in advance.
If that tip is 100% guaranteed, then it's illegal. But if someone's like, I think this Facebook thing might blow up, so maybe we should put some money in that.
If you're using the data off of okay, it's fine. Like, if let's say you have a broker and you guys are analyzing the market, you're analyzing trends, and you could see that let's say TikTok was something you could invest in, and you're like, oh man, a lot of kids are making TikToks. We should get on it before the big company. Then that's fine. The problem is when you guys are having staff board meetings.
Let me give you a real life example of actual insider trading. Kelly Loeffler's husband.
Yeah, if you're talking about that, then yes.
He is the president of the New York City Stock Exchange, and so he, of course, has all of the good guaranteed tips, quote unquote, to offer. And so he said, "Yo, this coronavirus thing is gonna blow up. So invest your money in hand sanitizer, invest your money in toilet paper, invest your money in all these these companies here, and you're gonna make bank."
And also sell all your stocks in these things because they're going down.
Yeah, exactly. And of course she did that. And her defense is still the best thing. She was like, why would I do that? I'm already rich.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's fucked up. But I mean,
her husband is the president of the New York City. You expect, I would expect that, that's just how, that's just what's happening all the time with them. This is not a single, the coronavirus thing is not the first time. It's just the first time that people noticed because the nigga has the deets. What do you
he got the Carfax on everybody, bro.
Yeah, he's always gonna know. So that's kind of a lose-lose situation for them, but at the same time, those would be the first people I would watch for insider trading.
Correct.
Come on.
The first people. But that being said, I think we're coming up on time here.
Mm-hmm.
So, you want to close us out as usual?
All right. Let's see here, fellow compatriots, fellow comrades. I will say yet again, the internet is still a mistake. Social media specifically was still a mistake, but I am glad that we were able to connect, and I am glad that you're all doing all right and you're all able to express yourselves. Just don't express yourself a little too hard, because then you might end up giving a hot take on a platform like Twitter and then get bombarded by people who are just like, look, you see here, logically speaking, you're not correct. And then, that's you're gonna have a bad time. So all of you guys take care of yourselves. I am Subtle Fraudulence, joined here by my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the man with many names, the man with all the right stuff.
It's a lot of smoke. It's a lot of smoke being blown right there. A lot of heat. A lot of truth. And we will see you guys next time. Also, what in the hell are the anti-maskers in Toronto doing, bro? They are they are really doing. I'm gonna just drop this link in the Twitch chat. So this will be a Twitch exclusive. So for all you people who are watching on Twitch, here is your eternal reward. YouTube folks, you'll just have to keep using your imagination. We'll see you guys next time.